A lot of activewear brands make the same mistake after launching their first few products. Let's just say you launch a leggings, a sports bra, and then you're thinking to yourself, what next? Do I launch a short? Do I launch a hoodie? Do I launch a jacket? What is the right next item to launch with? The question here shouldn't be what should I launch next? That question can be dangerous because asking yourself consistently what should I launch next becomes harder and harder the more of the core items that you actually add to your collection. So the question should be here, not necessarily what should I just launch next. It's what makes sense for where I'm at right now. Because just adding more product, although you might get some sales initially, it adds more inventory, it adds more risk. It creates more pressure on your marketing to spread the messaging. It creates more logistical issues from a production side, from a manufacturing side, from a storage side, from a delivery side. So there's a lot of additional weight that comes with adding product. So every single product that you add shouldn't just be dead weight. It shouldn't just be something that says, okay, I might sell through this once, but once that's done, I'm washing my hands from this. Because a product, especially in the early days, in the early stages, should have exponentially more add value than a product that you might add when you're 5, 10, 20 years into the business. So in this episode, we'll be looking at the 3 main questions that you need to ask as an entrepreneur when looking at what is the next activewear product that you need to add into your collection that's going to put you in the best possible position to scale from that $10,000, $15,000, maybe a year business to something that's doing maybe $500,000, $1 million a year to get you to that small to medium-sized business. So without further ado, my name is Shadi Adada. I'm the co-founder and creative director of FittDesign, the world's first sportswear design agency. And over the last 10 years, we've worked with literally thousands of brands to help them design, develop, and launch premium and very unique activewear brands. So I've learned a thing or two, and I often sit down with my customers and they ask me, Shadi, I have this collection. It's doing well. It's doing decently. What is the next product that I should add? These are the exact same questions that I ask them that I'm going to be. Question 1 is, does this product that I'm adding help and encourage the customer to buy more? Or does it just simply give them more to choose from? When a customer is landing on your website and they are making a purchasing decision, what they're asking themselves is this: based on what I have available, what do I want? And the easier that you make it for them to figure out what they want, the more likely that they're going to make a purchasing decision. When you introduce a lack of clarity or you make them feel unsure, this is where you lose the customer. So when adding in products, it should be very clear what each additional product is doing in the overall mix. If a product enters the collection and adds more confusion to the customer, this is where you might lose them. If you have a set of 10 items, of which 7 of those items or 6 of those items might be in the legging family, you might think to yourself, oh, I'm offering variety. But the question there is that a customer that might want a bottom may only want one type of bottom. So they may not be looking to purchase another type of bottom. What they may be looking for is a bra, a t-shirt, a tank, a hoodie, supplementary items that actually add value to the product that they've already purchased. So if you have too much depth into one product category, what you're creating is actually not choice, you're creating confusion, because within that product category altogether, this is why you need to buy and implement complementary essentials. If you're going to add 3 leggings, then you need to have 3 complementary products that can be mixed and matched. Don't go too deep into one product category while neglecting the others. In the early days, it's essential to hit the core essentials, the core basics. 1 legging, 1 short, 1 bra, 1 top, 1 tank, 1 outerwear. Those are core essentials. And the reason that you're able to do that is because it actually gets customers to buy more. Because if you buy a legging, you may not buy another legging, but what you might want to buy is a bra to go with it. And then you buy the bra. Oh, maybe you want shorts for the hotter days. Maybe the shorts look cuter with a bra. Great. But maybe you also want a hoodie to keep you warm because it might get chilly. You see how everything works together? That's how you add product. And ultimately, if you're just adding a random product simply to make your collection look bigger, and I hear this all the time, I want to add 10 items because I want people to take my brand as professional. It's a rare situation, but the people that have this circumstance, they assume that wider variety of items means that customers are going to look at the brand and they're going to feel that it's more established. But the challenge is that if those products are not considered correctly, it just adds more noise. The core question is, does this product that I'm about to introduce help the customer make a better purchase, or am I simply just adding more options for option's sake? Because if the product only adds noise, it's probably a little bit too early in the mix. You don't have a developed enough. Question 2 is, does this product add and strengthen the brand direction, or does it pull the brand sideways? In the early days, when you're coming right out of the gate, each new product that you add tells another page of your story. And in the early days, you have a smaller storybook with less pages. So each added page tells a proportionally or a disproportionately higher percentage of your story than later on when you have more products, when you're more fleshed out. You can afford to take more risks. You can afford to have more fringe products that are outside of your core realm. But in the early days, if you are well known for creating studio activewear, and then all of a sudden you begin to introduce, let's just say you have a collection of 10 items, you introduce 3 running pieces, then all of a sudden you've gone from a studio activewear to, oh, you also have this focus on running. There are 2 different customer avatars. There are 2 different niches. There are 2 different messaging. This is where a lot of the early brands that I see get stuck. They kind of pivot from direction to direction, and they add products based on inspiration. They might see something that works for a while, and then all of a sudden it stops working. They think it's because of the niche that they're in, and then they pivot to another direction. Again, I'm not saying that's all wrong. It could be right depending on the circumstances. But chances are you don't have enough data, enough information to know whether your niche is working or not. You may just need to flesh it out more. And adding in product that pulls and pushes your brand identity and direction in different ways doesn't allow you enough time within your niche to build that depth, to get that customer feedback, to see what colors are working, what sizes are working, what silhouettes are working, so that you can build. And if one product feels like Pilates, another feels like streetwear, another feels like gym wear, one feels like running, none of them build each other. And for a new brand, this is extremely risky, because you're spending money trying to get people on your website, and you're trying to build trust, but you're creating a lack of trust because of different directionality. When customers feel confused by what you stand for, they take a step back and they tell themselves, oh, maybe this is not a safe bet. This is not a safe option. So the core question you should be asking yourself, does the product that I'm adding satisfy my brand ethos? If I'm a brand that's designing quality studio wear for busy professionals between ages 27 and 40, but I add in another set of products that target a completely different. Question 3, the last question that we need to ask is, does the product that I'm adding create repeat value from the customer, or is this just a one-time launch idea? Because if the product that you're adding is very seasonal, especially in the early days where you can only sell it once, maybe it's hype-based. Maybe it's a product that customers might look at, they might buy once, and they'll never buy it again, not because they don't want to, but because they bought it themselves. And they're like, I don't get use out of this. This is not a product that I come back to time and time again. It's a very specialized product. What you're doing is you're burning your tokens. You're burning the effort and the energy that you're using in the early days on a product that you're going to spend the same amount of time on, whether it's a core product or whether it's this very specialty product, but you're not getting that repeat business. You're not getting customers to come back asking, oh, can I see this in a different inseam? Can I see this in a different color? Oh, when are you going to launch this in the new fabric? If you look at Lululemon's men's category, to this day, their core items, we're talking about the ABC pant, the commission pant, some of their surge joggers, their polo shirts, they are the same products that they were 5 years ago. They just relaunched them in seasonal colors and core colors. Sure, they add in seasonal and specialty drops every year to keep the collection feeling fresh. But you can tell once upon a time, their actual collection was very bare bones. It was very essential. And those are the products they come back to time and time again. And the same customer, I go out, I purchase the same product in a variety of colors. Those are the products that you need to be looking at today. Can these products be long-term? Can these products be launched in new colors? Can these products help build the next drop? Can I anchor future items to the products that I currently have? Maybe I launch the same jogger in a different silhouette with a different detail, with a different feature. Maybe I create a hoodie to complement the current jogger that I have. These are all questions that you need to ask, because in the early stages of your brand, you cannot afford to keep reworking a new product, launching it, and then transitioning to the next product. You could do this if you're more established, but it is tremendously expensive to design and develop and sample and bring to market a great product. And that's a one-time cost. Once you have that product locked in, You never need to worry about that again. But if your lifetime sales of the product stop at collection 1, you don't give the opportunity for that product to pay dividends to you down the line, ultimately a very niche product might look different, but it might not be suitable for everyday use. A product that is hard for customers to style is going to look great in campaign photos, but it's going to look horrible in real wardrobes. Customers are not going to gravitate towards it. A legging that customers want in multiple colors is what you want. A top that they can wear every week, that they can mix and match with their favorite leggings. A short that becomes their go-to piece whenever they want to look great, they want to feel great. A jacket that completes the outfit that they have already bought from you, that they can just feel so much better about the product that they bought. These are the products that you should be focusing on. This is what you want, especially in the early days of the business. And if you guys want and are struggling to get to that next level of your business, perhaps you have 3 items, maybe you have 5 items in your catalog and you're looking to expand and you're wondering to yourself, what's the next item that is going to help me not start from scratch, but build with what I already have so I can get the most out of what I already have, so I can actually stir the fire in the collection that I have and drive sales to the current products and the new product. Then you can check the link in the description to apply to work with us one-on-one, and we can show you what it would take to take your idea into a physical sample in under 30 days, and we can put a personalized production roadmap in your hands within 5 minutes of your inquiry. Guys, and I say this from the very bottom of my heart, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Fit Design TV.